G'day guys and welcome to another one of my Digimon ReArise videos. Bit of a different video this time. This is actually a speculation / prediction video. We're going to be having a look at a few Digimon that I think deserve a Super EX type personality version of themselves. As you can see, there's already a ton of Digimon that have already got their revamp, and they're kind of going through the old Megas and the old Digimon and making them relevant again, which is pretty cool. So in this video, I've picked like 3 Digimon from each type, maybe a couple more in a few types, that I think deserve an EX version of themselves. We'll have a quick look at their kit and we'll see what we can come up with for their EX version. Again, this is all speculation / predictions. None of this is official game or anything. This is just my thoughts on what Digimon deserve an EX version of themselves. So first up we have Alphamon Oriyukin, our first calm type. Super calm Alphamon Oriyukin could have a similar kind of thing where if he falls below 50% HP, he could get a huge buff to something, but they would need to put in a way that he doesn't get one shot. I don't know if that's some kind of, maybe he gets his boost on revival, or maybe he has a way to ignore like EX skills or always stop at 50% HP or something like that. Just something to think about. He needs to obviously be a hard hitter as well as he was in his original form, but yeah, let's focus on that passive to boost all your stats and stuff when you fall below a certain HP threshold, and it could be pretty interesting. Next up we have Dinomon. This guy originally was a powerhouse because he had evasion, so definitely keep that in there. Plus he's a counter-attacking Digimon. We don't actually have a super personality Digimon yet that has that counter modifier, so that could be a cool little niche for him. Again, he needs some kind of way that he doesn't get taken out by either fades or errors or like damage over time skills. So maybe group immunity to that, plus counter attack damage could be a little bit spicy, but they definitely have to figure out a way to make it relevant again. And of course, our final calm Digimon that deserves an ultra version, a super personality version I should say, is Imperialdramon Paladin Mode, the absolute beast of the original times. This guy just hit really hard with his crit multiplier. That's pretty much all he did. He had evasion, which was good, but he would just come in and just blast through teams. So I'd like him to follow that kind of thing. Maybe a multi-hit AoE sort of attack on his EX skill that could blast through enemies. Evasion, of course, is a calm Digimon sort of staple, but he definitely deserves a super personality type. Alright, moving on, we've got Lord Knightmon or Crusadermon. This Digimon was never that powerful. I guess the main niche was she could apply more evasion to red allies and buffed herself. You could simply make her like a red support Digimon that could reapply evasion as well as damage limiters, because that's what red Digimon are kind of known for in the current meta. Other than that, yeah, there's heaps of stuff you could do. Since her kit is so outdated, you could really revamp it up, but definitely a support style from red would be pretty cool. Next up is Chaos Gallant Mon. This guy again was never too relevant. He was kind of one of the first shielders in the game, so you definitely want to stick with that kind of trend if they made a super personality for this guy. I would say starting with all allies with the shield and a re-applicable shield as well would definitely be something to look for this guy. He also gave block rate in his passive, so you could do something like Metallic Dramon with a decreased damage from block, or something like that would be pretty cool for this guy. And along a similar trend, we have Gallant Mon. This guy will definitely be getting a super personality eventually. I would say he's a very popular Digimon. This guy was the first shielder, I believe. So definitely need to stick along those lines. Again, maybe a whole team shield plus a reapplicable shield either to himself or other Digimon with any of his skills would be pretty cool. Alright, we're into Tenacious Digimon now. Hyandramon definitely needs a revamp. This guy was the defensive OG beast. Simply because of this skill here, it can increase all else defense by 60%. That gets even higher at a higher skill level, but nowadays you can get better than that passively easily. So definitely make him an absolute defensive beast, maybe some fade immunity, maybe some a defense boost, tech damage or power damage resistance up. Just make the rest of your team absolutely tanky as hell. Magnumon, the yellow version. This guy kind of came out really early and didn't do that much. They've already buffed him, but he's still not good at all. They could definitely revamp him. Maybe he originally kind of focused on protecting allies from statuses, so maybe he could have something like full team status immunity to pretty much everything for like 7 turns or something. Wouldn't be too busted, but would be nice. Just make him kind of another defensive role in the team. And our final yellow Digimon that I think deserves a super personality is the original Alter S. Critical immunity was this guy's game. They did just release the Super Black War Greymon with critical immunity, so they could definitely do it again with this guy. Again, multi-hit would definitely be in his wheelhouse, and that stacking yellow power, which yellow Digimon are known for, definitely would need to be in there as well. Moving on, we've got Noble Pumpkinmon, our first green Digimon that we're looking at here. We do not have a reviver. We have auto revives, but we don't have a super personality that can revive other Digimon. So this guy could definitely fill that slot. He could have self-revive plus be able to revive other Digimon, or another wacky idea, he could be able to apply a stack of auto revive to another Digimon, which would be really cool. Mastermind definitely needs a revamp. I guess her main thing was applying random statuses, so definitely needs status abnormality up, and recovering HP with a little bit of protection. So you could easily make a solid green Digimon if you just revamped all of those things just a little bit. And the design, of course, is absolutely wicked. And a Farneymon. This was the original cleanser. Her cleanse came without a heal, which is kind of unheard of, and she increases critical rate as well. So definitely a support, plus tons of status protection. So you could definitely make her a cleanser. These days you kind of need to clear Fade to be a good cleanser, but you could definitely whack that in there with a little bit of protection, and I think you'd be having fun with that. Bring back green. Into purple Digimon now. Lilithmon, one of the OG Pierces, definitely needs a super awakening. There is the green version of Lilithmon as well, which makes me think maybe not, because Digimon that have a secondary release haven't been too popular with the super personality awakenings, but definitely would need to be a Piercer with that Fanglongmon effect, you know, where recovers HP and brings it back to you. Maybe an effect where it recovers the whole team, not just her, would be pretty cool as well. Susanomon. This guy was never that good. Like, he was okay, but he was never that good. His main crutch was applying status abnormalities to enemy Digimon and then hitting harder if they had a status abnormality on them. You would definitely need to increase the multiplier to make that viable. It would need to be pretty big as well, because a lot of teams, have a lot of status abnormality, and sometimes it's pretty tricky to get statuses off on them. And next up is Alphamon. This was my original 5-turn debuffer. I loved using this guy, used him for ages. For a super personality awakening, I would definitely have him as a debuffer still, but make it a massive debuff. Give him a 10-turn debuff with some darkness, and then He'd probably be pretty solid there. With a little bit of defensive capability, he would be pretty awesome as well. And Alphamon Rage Mode. This guy fell so flat. There was so much hype when he first released, and he fell so flat. He's one of the kind of original blue killers with a bit of fade protection, but only for purple Digimon. So you could definitely make that whole team fade immunity, blue and red killer maybe. Or he's purple, so they probably wouldn't do that. Probably do blue and purple killer. And just make him hit hard. Look at him, he's an absolute beast. Why wouldn't he hit hard? And finally, I believe this is the last one, Magnum. I think a lot of people have been predicting this, and there's that one guy that you always see in PvP with level 150 Magnum. So, yeah, they could definitely remake this guy. This guy was okay. He was one of the first damage limiter, like, ignorer. So you could definitely follow along that, and there is heaps of damage limiters in PvP at the moment. So if you had a skill that could ignore damage limiters or deal extra damage to Digimon with damage limiters, that would be really sick as well. So there you have it, guys. That's my personal opinion on some Digimon that I would like to see get revamped. Of course, there is a ton of Digimon that are in line, I guess, for a super awakening. Let me know down below. This is your time to do some theory crafting. What Digimon would you like to see get a super personality? What would their kit look like? You don't need to be too specific if you don't want to, but what would be the main point of their kit? Try and keep it similar to their original kit, I would say, because that's kind of what they do in game. Some other ideas might be like the Dark Masters, Puppetmon, Piedmon, sort of Metal Siegramon sort of era, which are all due for revamps as well. Pretty cool. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this speculation type video. Again, leave a comment down below and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!